Good afternoon. My name is Apostle Baksay. I just a while ago discovered that it might happen to those that are disciples of Jesus Christ, especially maybe mainly in the Church of Jesus Christ that I'm a member of, but maybe also of any church among those that are disciples of Jesus Christ. The early ascension into higher heaven, while we're still most vital, most dynamic um, of our movement, so we may have to experience of the presence, closest presence of our Supreme Maker, Supreme Elohim, and Supreme Yahweh. We realize that what may be helpful towards our translation will be the actual constitution for our minds. This constitution is applicable for every individual and also for marriage couples, for both of the marriage couple as well as for all families, adult members of the families, neighborhoods, and also of all the nations and unions of nations, this constitution that is general and most perfect. So he was summarizing, and in a sense, we believe that the name of the constitution shall be the perfect new constitution of Jesus Christ, or new perfect constitution of Jesus Christ. In preamble, we thought um, vocabulary, but the sound of the preamble shall be this is the supreme Elohim's and Supreme Yahweh's constitution of Supreme Elohim and Supreme Yahweh for citizens and residents of the United Nations, the neighbors, friends, to be translated into the glory of Supreme Elohim and Supreme Yahweh, to experience the highest heavens on earth as in the highest heaven, and to ascend extremely early, the most vital, most dynamic age of living into the closest presence of our Supreme Creator, Supreme Elohim, and Supreme Yahweh, into the most glorious home of our only God, omnipotent, omnipresent. We was actually considering whether we might use the sectioning into paragraphs or articles. So far, by this time, that we have here in Supreme Courts of Justice of the United Kingdom of Great Britain in Westminster and Greater London, Israel capital of England. So we try to choose the articles, so there will be 10 articles. That might be first just also 10 paragraphs, and later that might be some more detail written about each of these paragraphs that will be turned to articles. So first will be so it is our duty to have honor and dignity, to love our God first with all our heart, mind, and strength, and to ascend into His presence while we're still most vital and most dynamic in movement. Every individual, as it was last will that we obtained immediately and was learning since our early childhood, so immediately at the birth or at the begetting or before begetting as universal, that's it for each individual. So now we have the second paragraph is we may have weddings and marriages in a true order of prayer circle, to have homes somewhat more unified, and therefore to have homes that are lasting and for all eternity here on earth and high heaven. Second paragraph is about the children. So we may rear our children by the word of God and in the name of our only God, omnipotent, and omnipresent. Fourth paragraph is about our duty to govern and to reign have dominion by appraisals. The word by appraisals, or the two words by appraisals, will be actually to have emphasis on to understand how to govern. So we might also ultimately by appraisals. This may also mean that we are supposed to avoid the punishment, and it is possible, as we know, that in highest heaven it is our duty to help, for us to have help to not to punish, because we are in certificates of justice and punishment is quite normal. Those that was maybe punishing or that was maybe committing crime. To understand why, how can we not punish? We need to know that we are created in the image of God and likeness and are born of woman. So all those that are born of woman and receive their greater honor to have spirit and body unified in the way of conception, within women shall be recognized as good, and therefore there shall be by government set advocacy to each such soul to be liberated from the bounds of transgression or criminality that might be most success for courts of justice in the United Kingdom, in the United States of America, as in military governing intelligence, or all the other nations that will be experiencing in 2016. The fifth article or fifth paragraph will be about honor to our parents, to administer redemption also to our ancestors. The sixth is the endowment of kindness. Jesus Christ was explaining the sixth commandment that was given by Yahweh or by Jesus Christ to Moses on Mount Sinai. At the time, it was approximately 50 nights since Passover. There is approximately said on 20th of May, approximately. So we actually like to be kind, and we believe they showed very careful in formulation of this commandment. That was firstly quite wonderful. Was sounding as "thou shalt not kill." Now, Jesus Christ was also not as exceedingly careful. Jesus Christ was mentioning that we should just not get angry. So that's also very similar, even though it was somewhat more reserved than that what Moses was putting down in writing. And then we have these statements of Victorian times that Joseph Smith Jr., that was found dead, was also formulating this instead of those who not kill or those who not get angry. He was actually saying that word kindness or kind might be replaced. From those three, we need to see that those who be kind or kindness is the most perfect. But we see the difference that Jesus Christ, nevertheless, that he was saying those who not get angry is living in heaven. And Joseph Smith is now after about 100 years of being killed, dead, and decomposed down in a grave somewhere near city of Nauvoo. There is in state Illinois, in the United States of America, is still just laying down there as lazy blasphemy. So we believe that Jesus was intelligent and he was a single revelation from the future, but was maybe not applying as a major of the great city of Nauvoo that was built sometimes in 1835 maybe, or 1836. So now we have 2016 and Joseph is dead. So we think about any more perfect formulation and application of the sixth paragraph of kindness. So we thought that might be turn to article. So we turn the paragraph 6 to article, and we may select two paragraphs into the article 6 of kindness. And we might say that it is necessary for us, or essential, to have a great number of those in the United Nations that choose to partake ultimate of those helps that are pleasant to the sight of God and good food in the sight of Jesus Christ or Yahweh freely. So that will be actually quite about food in the first paragraph of the article about kindness. That is selected number 6. Now the second paragraph that we believe is also samely valuable for those that wants to be kind or that wants to ascend to heaven, and mainly us in our freedom. But my experience, fruit of freedom, is really translation of our soul to the glory of our God, omnipresence, we can call him accepting Yahweh. That is, with other words, Jesus Christ personally. Now, Jesus Christ is telling us to be perfect as his Father is perfect. So Jesus Christ is Father and the Son, both in one. Yet he was also mentioning that there is a greater Father that was not born of woman, but is the maybe only person that was without beginning and without end, or is the most valuable person, or more valuable individual, without beginning and without end, is most glorious. Um, for those that are not shaming for speaking about circumcision. So as Jesus Christ was circumcised, his Father has got a separate body, that is a distinct body, that is not circumcised. So the circumcision was happening here on earth to those that was born of Israel, of Abraham. But our God, that is omnipresent, from without beginning, from everlasting to everlasting, from 20 to 20, is not circumcised. So that my distinguish that who is Jesus Christ, is Father, Son, is our God's Son and Father, but even greater Father is in heaven. And Jesus Christ was mentioned to us as service of perfect. So we may be supposed to administer equality, and this is the second paragraph that I thought to mention that we came to in Article 6 about kindness, to administer equality or equity of the household of highest heaven, the household of God, as if the Supreme King Jesus Christ was second time, finally again among us. If we remember that scripture that appears in record of Saint Luke the Evangelist in the book of Acts of Apostles, New Testament and Bible, chapter 1, verses approximately 1 to 11. So verses 1 to 11 mentioning that there was two men in white apparel appearing at the time as Jesus was ascending into heaven, and they spoken approximately these words: "Ye men of Galilee, why are ye gazing towards heaven? The same Jesus Christ will return again, likewise, as you saw him ascend." So this was also a commandment for the disciples of Jesus Christ to ascend to highest heaven. And this is for us the Article 6, consisting approximately of two valuable paragraphs that might later extend. Now we come to Article 7, that might have only one paragraph, that it is chaste for us when one man shall marry one or more women, first Jews, now Greeks or Ephraim. And maybe the end of the article, one paragraph regarding the law of chastity that was ever recorded by Moses on Mount Sinai or near the Mount Sinai, as Jesus Christ or Yahweh was birthing Moses about chastity, and that was some different words about. So to have one or more women might be possible for the disciples of Jesus Christ, as we have at the moment such a situation there is somewhat more women as men on earth. As many women as many one can have, we are not sure. It might happen that not every of the men will get more than one woman. We need to be careful how many women we marry if we want to be equidose, as we were mentioning in Article 6. In paragraph 2, where we want to be equidose, perfectly equidose. Therefore, we shall maybe locally not marry too many of the women. Now, the Article 8 is about generosity in forgiving. It is very valuable for us um, to administer forgiveness and to be generous in forgiving. In European Union, in this time, it is quite easy, as the European Parliament was very successful in bringing to pass the prohibition of the punishment of death. So in Great Britain, in Slovak Republic, in Germany, France, and other member states of the European Union, there is no punishment of death. That's really great celebration of generosity in forgiving. So that's really happiness. Now, in the United Nations, we have United States of America and Russia that may be still turning sometimes to the punishment of death. In the United States of America, maybe also very often. In Russia, we are quite not sure. We were just recognizing that there was somewhat of a great movement that was maybe similar to the civil war in Ukraine and in Russia, on the borders of Ukraine and Russia in 2013 and 2014. So we are now 2016, and we will see that there was many injured, and maybe some was actually consequently dying. So that was similar to punishment of death for any sins. So that as we will see, there is also 300,000 people injured. So that we would like to have differently. We would like the as American government have punishment of death, so that I would like to be changing it. Consequently of the International Charter of Human Rights and Religious Freedoms. And also the last relation that we wonderful if we choose neither punishment of death, neither civil war, many was damaged with injury or death. So we might have that done. That we might have general forgiving. Now the other punishments we might also minimalize to just disciplinary that will be effectively bringing soul to happiness, such like those that are exceeding overweight and have plenty of water in the bodies. They seem sort of heavy of fat. That they may get that by commandment of justice, and maybe also financially made possible that they can attend to a fitness center. And those who doesn't have money, they might not be tempted to, for instance, steal or commit theft. That they might obtain permission to get money or credits, as we now have in this modern time in 2016 credit system. So money actually no need. We just present the credit card that are also contactless to touch the reader. There's electronic, and therefore payment is made in, and people can get what they need. It's food or dress or wedding fees or anything else that might occur as necessary and immediately be answered. So we actually very exciting for the unification of disciples of Jesus Christ in this 2016, 10 years of 21st century, and we hope that we may have ascensions into high heaven just right now or early. So we may be set there, we were speaking about generosity and forgiving, so we may experience the ascension of my Campus Baksay just right now. I believe that also from sitting it is possible. So let's pray. Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thou be on earth, heaven, right now to ascend into the highest heaven. Blessed be from that glory of heaven and earth. Highest heaven. Forgive us, and our sins, against us. Comfort, content, and deliver us now. In thy presence for all eternity, thy power, and glory, for all eternity, in thy name, and in the name of thy only-begotten Son, Christ, in Yahweh, and the Holy Spirit, Son of God. So we now are stretching our clothes of high heaven as well to bring us into stand and to get us into the highest heaven. So maybe we can get this right now. To the Ascension. open to us, some of you are still here. So until that happen, we will obtain the actual exaltation immediately by the called escort, angels of escort, to high heaven. We may begin into the article paragraph 9. That is humility. So because actually following what humility is to acknowledge gratefully and with courage that all the talents and abilities are gifts of God. There are multiple of actions, habitual action. It is actually a sign of the perfect character to acknowledge this, that all the talents and abilities are gifts of God. To us, be grateful and courageous. You might ask maybe royalty or governors or celebrities what were you said to be courageous. They know maybe the most perfectly. Except we praying as we was just praying to know the truth through the power of the Holy Spirit. It does not appear so exactly by our own understanding. We still will help us to realize, especially if we ask, especially if we have the best wishes to our governors and to celebrities, that they might have their generosity forgiving and their humility to obtain their diligence. So now we actually was mentioning diligence. Diligence, to us, diligent in performing of the charity or diligent in performing a will of God is Article 10, and it was chosen for the actual modern and new constitution or solo constitution that's modernized to the genius of 21st century, ultimately 10 articles that might consist of more than 10 paragraphs, especially the article of kindness, that it was including also a bit of wisdom, thus be kind and wise and safe, as well as have wisdom to equalize, that is also kind, prevents us from anger and from any single conflict, as mentioned in the Old Testament, also by Moses in the commandments, that is number 6 of the 10 commandments that was given to Moses. So I actually love it. Actually, we can also sing here at the occasion, at the Supreme Court of Charitable singing, and we will traditionally sing the hymn that is used in the Church of Jesus Christ as a relation to the Gospel of Jesus Christ recorded by St. John the Evangelist, chapter 13, verses 36 to 35. As I have wanted to love one another, to receive commandment, love one another, by its commandment, that you are disciples, if you have not unto another. Okay, probably we can sing it again.